Giving presentations is an essential business skill, but some people get it so wrong. Their slides look bad because they're text heavy with lots of bullet points and images that seem to have no useful purpose. But it doesn't have to be like this. I'm going to give you some ideas that will dramatically improve the quality of your presentations if you use them consistently. I want you to think of a presentation as a documentary that tells a story with images and the spoken word. You wouldn't watch a film that had bullet points and subtitles you couldn't read, would you? So why do you think a presentation should be any different? Just because you present in a business context, it doesn't mean you should bore your audience to death. But this is what happens almost every day. You can make a huge difference by following a 4-step process that I guarantee will help you to develop more compelling and effective presentations. Why are you doing it? Is it to educate, inform, entertain, persuade, or close a sale? You must be very clear about the purpose because this sets the tone and defines the content of the whole presentation. People have limited powers of recall, so you must make sure they remember the big thing you want them to, because this is what you are going to build your whole presentation around. You are now going to take the big idea and develop a headline that describes it in a way that will grab attention and arouse interest. For example, this is hardly going to get people sitting on the edge of their seats, is it? But this is much more likely to. When you have this, write the story and make sure it's as clear, concise and compelling as possible. Then split it into slide-sized chunks. You can use this as slide notes to make sure you cover everything. Not only does it mean you'll know the content inside out, you can also ditch those annoying bullet points and slides full of text that everyone just hates. Now you are ready to put it all together. I want to give you 4 rules you should always use. The easier you make it for your audience to understand your big idea, the more successful you will be. So always keep your messages as simple as possible and aim to make the maximum impact with the minimum content. This means distilling your story to the absolute core by cutting clutter. Slides with too much information look messy and are hard to understand, so challenge every word or image on a slide and remove anything that doesn't get your message across. The biggest culprits are slide furniture and bullet points. Slide furniture are items such as company logos, copyright notices or company confidential that appear on every slide. We have difficulty coping with too much information anyway, and this just makes things worse. It serves no useful purpose and it cuts down on the available space you can use for the interesting stuff. If you must add your logo and company name, only put it on the first and last slide. Bullet points are a blight on great presentations. They are overused and result in cluttered slides that are deadly boring and often impossible to read. If you must use a bullet list, perhaps for an agenda, never use more than the readable limit of 6 a slide. The best way you can reduce clutter is by using images and making your slides visual. This means either using text sparingly or not at all. We remember images far better than words. They make a bigger and more lasting impact as long as the image is memorable and it relates to your ideas. But don't use images purely as eye candy that have nothing to do with the content on the slide. Select an image that is a strong visual metaphor that makes your point and leaves a big impression on the audience. Always use high-quality images, preferably photographs, and avoid free, cheap or bad cartoon images and clip art. These look cheap and nasty and don't really give the right impression. And lastly, don't get carried away with what you can do in PowerPoint or Keynote. Keep it simple and avoid using too many special effects. Messages should really stand on their own, so they don't need flashy transitions. Only use effects if they add to the user experience and help to put your message across in a better way. So, good luck with your next presentation. If you follow these ideas, I know you will develop far more effective and powerful presentations. The next challenge is how you deliver the presentation, and that's something I'll talk about another time.